It's a little bit difficult to put into words how difficult and special 2024 was for me. You see, I came out of 2023 with just having a full right knee replacement surgery. And I realized, well, not really, I already knew, how special my friends Joe and Joseph and Art and Lori were, who took care of me throughout my recovery, really for several months. They took care of me and they took care of my dog Mango. Throughout this, I was able to set myself up from home and work from home part-time. Acting-wise, we, as actors, had just come off of a debilitating strike, and this was really a lean year in acting, truly. But I was able to sign with a new management company this year. I have to tell you, I love my manager, Tanya, and I really have a great affinity with my new management company, Citizen Skull Management. In 2024, I left my agency, Aqua, and I signed with a new agency. And I left that new agency as well, all in the same year. But I have high hopes for 2025 because I believe in myself and my talent more than my last agency did. I'm not just a co-star anymore. Acting-wise, this was probably one of the leanest acting years I've had in the last 6 years. In 2024, I only worked on one commercial, 2 short films, and 1 vertical television series. And that was it. Now, as I said, I have high hopes for 2025. I see a huge jump in the next several months alone. My mantra is manifest what you believe. Health-wise, this was a big year for me. I literally lost 90 pounds. 90 pounds! Think about that. That's the size of a 9-year-old child. But it was time. I did it for my health, of course. But from an acting standpoint, I was booking roles left and right, where I always played the nefarious character. The nefarious, big, bald character. But I would look at myself on film or TV, and my stomach was always entering the scene first. Silently, I hated it, and I never said anything about it. But I hated it. Yet, I worked a lot. I swear, now that I'm thinner, I am a walking billboard for Old Navy. I celebrated my birthday this year once again at the Bali High restaurant with my friends, Joe, Joseph, and John. I know they are sick of this restaurant, but I love going there. But they need to watch out. I'm going to pick a much more expensive restaurant this year. They need to get their wallets ready. I already know the restaurant I want to go to. Mango also celebrated a birthday this year. He celebrated his 6th birthday in February. I baked him a cake, a dog cake, a recipe I found online. And you know what? He absolutely hated it. Just like he hated the photo I took of him. It was another costume that he had to put on for a total of 5 minutes that he hated, and which now sits in a box that he will never wear again, that I spent entirely too much money on, specifically for a social media post. The film Unfrosted premiered on Netflix this year, and it was the first big studio film that I've ever appeared in. And that was a really big deal for me. It was a $14 million film, and it was directed by Jerry Seinfeld. And I had credits at the end of the film with the character's name. And that in itself is a big deal. Some of my scenes were cut, of course, but I don't care. I was still paid, and I still had a fat trailer for a week, and I showed up on screen in my scenes with some big-name talent. Road to Terzetto was released this year as well, and that is still streaming on Amazon Prime. That was a huge deal for me as well. I had new headshots taken this year, which turned out great, and I'm having new headshots taken in the next couple of months now that I'm even skinnier in the face, and I have a skinnier body. And I'm having some new real material filmed in the next couple of weeks. I continued with my acting classes this year at the BGB studio with Corey Parker. I dropped in on classes with the rehearsal room with my coach, Carrie Scott, and I took classes with Mormon Bowling Casting, and I still continue my classes with the casting director, Dean Frank. Dean Frank is the casting director who cast me in the Christmas TV movie Dognapped Hound for the Holidays. I love that guy. Oh, and I bought a new car this year, a new BMW Hybrid i3. I attended some FYC events this year for SAG-AFTRA. One of them was for Ripley for Netflix. And I took my friend Jennifer, and I got to see Andrew Scott and Dakota Fanning talk about the show. Honestly, Netflix spent a lot of money on this event, and it was absolutely worth the drive up to Los Angeles to this event. Additionally, I attended the FYC Showtime event for the show Fellow Travelers with my friend Joseph. We partied afterwards and attended a very cool Hollywood party thrown by Paramount Showtime for the event, and we got to meet the stars of the show and take pictures with Matt Bomer, Jelani Aladdin, and Noah Ricketts. Once again, no expense was spared at this party for cocktails, appetizers, and atmosphere. I vacationed in Puerto Vallarta once again this year. This is my 12th year vacationing in Puerto Vallarta. I went again with Joe and Joseph and John, and ironically, I did not leave in the middle of the trip like I normally do and come back for reasons like work or an acting job. I stayed for the entire length of the trip, which was absolutely wonderful. It was a wonderful trip. 10 days in Puerto Vallarta was magical. Every day was satisfying. Pool, beach, great food, great cocktails, great company, and great friends. Honestly, you can't ask for anything more. 10 days of letting your brain relax. Art and Lori took care of Mango, and he was spoiled the entire time. The good thing is when I'm away, they take care of Mango. When they are away on a vacation, I take care of their fur baby Loretta, and she is just as spoiled. He sleeps on their bed when I'm away, and she sleeps on my bed when they are away. I saw more shows at the La Jolla Playhouse this year. I love that venue. Joe and I went and saw The Ballad of Johnny and June. That show was fantastic. I cannot even give it enough praise because there was something happening in every corner of the stage at all times. Every actor, every musician was doing something at all times. They were all singing, they all had movement, and you had to look everywhere. It was absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, and wonderful. It never stopped moving, and it told a great story. I hope this is not the end of it, and I hope it hits New York and Broadway at some point, just like The Outsiders did. I saw The Outsiders 3 times when it was at La Jolla Playhouse, and look what happened to it on Broadway. It blew up and won the Best Musical of the Year. I cried and cried at every performance in La Jolla at The Outsiders. The shows at the La Jolla Playhouse are good, and they're all Broadway spectacular, just in case you need to know that. My nephew Nicholas got married this year to a beautiful young woman named Jessica, and they also found out they were having a baby just recently. 2 blessings for him and our family this year. Halloween came and went, And not only did I give out candy to kids, but I made cocktails for the adults. Now I don't know if that's against the law or not, but I did. I made margaritas in small little plastic cups. I think I made maybe 19 or 20 margaritas, but the adults, they took them on their merry way. The week after Halloween, I immediately started setting up Christmas. I made a woman upset in my front yard because she wanted to know why I was putting up my Christmas decorations so early as she walked her dog past my house. And I said to her, "Why do you care?" And that pissed her off. And she kept walking her dog and walked on by. And really, why did she care? Why did it matter if I wanted to set up my Christmas decorations after Halloween and before Thanksgiving? Hey, here's the deal. I had a shitty part of my childhood and my teen years during the holidays. So Christmas as an adult, on my terms, makes me very happy. And I love having Christmas set up. She doesn't know me, and it's none of her business. I started ukulele lessons this year. I still cannot play a song, but at least I take lessons. I stopped for the holidays, but I'll pick them up after the new year. I have a great teacher. I spent Thanksgiving at Joe's house. Joseph was there, so it was Joe, Joseph, and I. I didn't do a Christmas cocktail party this year like I normally do. I just had a Christmas dinner with Joe and Joseph. I made a prime rib. I also had Lori and Art and their dog Loretta over as well for a little party. And I decorated my house inside for Christmas. I was way over the top. You would think that there were children living here, or at least more than me and my dog. But you know what? It makes me happy. There's a lot to take down. I spent Christmas Eve at Joseph's, and he made filet mignon, and Christmas Day was spent at Joe's, and he made his traditional Christmas Day lasagna and caprese salad. My nephew Zach and his wife Maren came into town from Christmas, and his brother, my nephew Alex, was in town as well. And I was able to hang out with them along with their brother Nick and his new wife Jess. Maren's brother Dane flew in from DC to surprise Maren for her birthday, and all of us went to the Encinitas Botanic Garden Lightscape over the holidays to hang out. You know, I'm old, and my nephews are less than half my age, but they don't realize how much I cherish that time hanging out with them. When I'm dead, hopefully they will miss me. I don't know. New Year's Eve was exactly how I loved it. I remember when I used to throw big New Year's Eve parties at my home on Skipper Street, and I used to have these themed parties, and I used to make everybody come out to my house and be there by 9 p.m. at night in a themed costume and not leave until 12:30 and play roulette all night. So to all of you, gosh, I apologize. And I know you say, "Oh my gosh, Michael, your parties were extravagant." And I love them. And yeah, they were extra extravagant. And the food was amazing. Remember the non-stop hand-passed appetizers? There were endless cocktails. The decorations were amazing. And all the food, it cost me a fortune. But I could never imagine myself going out on a New Year's Eve ever again. Never, ever again. I'm generally asleep before the end of the East Coast feed of New Year's. So this New Year's, I made myself a wonderful steak dinner with a baked potato and a salad and a shrimp appetizer, and I had some Veuve champagne, and I celebrated New Year's by myself. I have big hopes and big dreams for 2025. And I have big hopes and big dreams that you will see me streaming on one of your services in a new movie in 2025. Oh, and you will. A Lions game comes out in spring of 2025. And I have a big role in that film. Now, I don't know which service it's going to be streaming on yet, but I'll find out sometime in the beginning of this year. So, Happy New Year to all of you. And to all of you, a good night.